just a little bit.
Yeah, he's not, he's just.
Oh, he sent, oh, yeah.
Okay, then.
He won't be here.
I would imagine. You shouldn't want personality to get involved with logical decision making.
You ready?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get approval of the agenda.
I'll approve the agenda as presented for July 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, yes. All right, motion carried. Okay, approval of the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. That includes the special meeting minutes dated June 24th, 2024. Regular Township Board meeting minutes dated June 10th, 2024. To accept the treasurer's report as presented. To accept the assessor's report for July 2024. To approve June 2024 bills and to transfer the funds. The general fund check number 30284 through 30327, which includes township bills, township electronic payrolls, and the building department, which also includes building bills, building payroll, and building monthly remittance checks. Total amount of township, which includes township fire and police and building payrolls and bills for June 2024 is $176,239.10.
A second?
Favor?
Aye.
Cindy? All right, motion carried. I guess William Hamilton's not here tonight.
Right, he just sent me an email with his report, but I can send it today.
All right, public time.
Susan Huff, 5047 Glen Road, and thank you for giving me a little bit of extra time tonight. One of our county commissioners, so I would like to put a little context to many of the things that he has written on there that I think are stretching the truth or untrue, and things that he's omitted. Lapeer County Emergency Medical Services belongs to the residents of Lapeer County. MedStar belongs to McLaren. The Medical Control Authority, MCA, for Lapeer County, which decides which ambulance companies can serve Lapeer County, is made up of individuals who are employees, board members, etc. of McLaren Hospital. Although McLaren and MedStar are not-for-profit organizations, not-for-profit is a tax construct, and they are allowed to get earnings, and their employees and board members are very well compensated. Colby Miller, Lapeer County MedStar's president and CEO, made over $500,000 last year. Don't know how much Russ Adams makes, but I know it's nowhere close to that. LCEMS is community-owned and cannot carry more than a small statutory amount of cash forward at the end of the millage. They are not allowed to make a profit or have earnings as we know them. The MCA, McLaren's MCA, controls which ambulance services receive the runs. LCEMS serves everyone in our county that the MCA, McLaren's MCA, allows them to serve. They would serve the entire county if the MCA, McLaren's MCA, didn't assign districts and services to MedStar, McLaren's MedStar. MedStar wants to run LCEMS out of town so badly that they connived with certain townships in 2017 to sue LCEMS over the millage proposal. MedStar had no standings to sue, so they offered to pay the legal fees in excess of $20,000 if the townships would sue. Turned out the townships didn't have standing either. They were summarily dismissed at the local level and lost at the appellate level, frivolously causing LCEMS and Lapeer County to spend tax dollars for their defense. When those tax tactics did not work, the MCA, McLaren's MCA, started assigning districts and profitable hospital transfers to MedStar, McLaren's MedStar, to pull revenue from LCEMS. LCEMS, by direction of the previous Board of Commissioners, waives deductibles and copays for residents and guests of Lapeer County because those people support LCEMS through the millage. MedStar does not waive deductibles and copays for residents and guests of Lapeer County. Since the inception of the LCEMS millage, LCEMS has waived over $3.6 million in fees for county taxpayers. Those taxpayers then had over $3.6 million in their pockets to spend on goods and services in Lapeer County. MedStar would have put those $3.6 million in their corporate pockets. Many Lapeer residents are on Medicare, Medicaid, or are uninsured. Private ambulance companies like MedStar are very expensive. People on limited or fixed incomes may not call for an ambulance if they know they can't pay the resulting bill. Do they deserve to die because they're on limited or fixed incomes? MedStar really wants to run LCEMS out of business so badly that they're now holding special meetings with only a subset of the Lapeer County Board of Commission members. Why not with the full board? Why does MedStar want Lapeer so badly? Will they use a sliding scale to build those on limited or fixed incomes? Not likely, based on their existing business practices. Will they cover the county in the same way LCEMS can? Maybe for a little while. But then, after they've acquired our equipment and our employees, will they say, we can't afford to continue to provide this type of coverage in remote parts of the county unless the county or the townships kick in funding? Could be. Will we be left with higher response times and fewer units? Possibly. So why does MedStar want Lapeer so badly? There can only be one answer, it's for profit. Don't trade local control over REMS, quick response times, and good outcomes for the price of a tattoo or a set of horseshoes. Actually, for most people, the millage will cost them less than a set of horseshoes. Debbie would probably agree with that. Vote yes, please, on the LCEMS millage. Thank you.
Member Shakos, the Village of Metamora. I want to address some of you witnessed Don Brady being really quite rude to me before the meeting. I get that you don't like me, sir, but you should at least read what I write. And I get that you're dismissing, and I know I'm a woman telling you about a vehicle, and you don't know my background, sir. You do not know my background, and I, again, have worked with all kinds of fire marshals across the country, and I know that none of them who have come to an inspection at one of my events would allow that concert to go down at Harmar Park. So one of the complaints that's in your packet today is about the Township UTV showing up down at the concert, I think it was June 20th. It was already packed with vehicles and packed with people, and what comes in? But the Township UTV. And yes, it is dangerous, fire-wise, it is dangerous out there to have all those people and all those internal combustion engines in a park that is less than half an acre. But adding another one in and blocking the way, also not a great idea. And then, whose truck was parked illegally in the parking lot? Mr. West. So parts, feet from the curb there. So yes, I know the Bradys and the Bests are right next to each other in the cemetery. I know you guys, you're members of your family, generations have served together in the fire department. But you know why I bother to do this? Because I know I'm right and I'm leaving a paper trail. Because when something goes wrong, then you're finally going to have to learn to maybe stop putting people in danger. Now, in your packet, I also took the time to make you a copy of this. You guys bothered to sign this Principles of Governance saying that you would achieve the highest, adhere to the highest ethical standards. I'm not sure that you know what those are. And I'm asking you to consider passing the ethics ordinance so you have guidance. So that Mr. Best isn't voting for his daughter as an alternate on the ZBA and her husband under the Plan Commission. Because that would not be allowed under a lot of ethics ordinances in our state. As MML has pointed out. I've also got a complaint in there about West Bailey Farms. They are claiming on their website that their venue is 500 acres. The variance was only approved on 20. He would have had to notify a whole bunch of more people if it was on that 500. So that's something to look into. And then the most important one in there, and this is the most important thing I've ever found in local government, is that Country Days and the Higher Balloon Festival, the village has hardly anything on file safety-wise for that. It was 3 little pages of almost nothing as I detail in that complaint. And it's not filed with you, but I think you should see it because that spills out into the township and it uses township resources. That is absolutely frightening. Now, I know that Chief Davis is working on a safety plan for it, but the fact that, and you know these people in the village, I know you've been friends with Clark for decades, right? Talk to him, get him to adhere to at least the principles that are in the township ordinance for outdoor assembly. Because as somebody who's done events professionally, that's absolutely frightening what they have there. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Greg Wise, 1213 Cow Road, and I'm a candidate for Good County Commission District 6. A little disappointed that Mr. Hamilton didn't appear tonight. He didn't appear at the Good Township Board meeting this morning either. The reason because I was looking forward to his report, because at the last board meeting on June 27th, one of the things was the acceptance of the financial report from the CPA firm that the county hired that audited the 2023 statements. As I sat there in the audience listening to it, and I looked on the faces of the commissioners and got this sort of dumbfounded look, and it just reminded me why I'm the most qualified person for this job. I mean, I have experience in education in accounting. Worked for a statewide CPA firm for over a year, paid for law school, passed the CPA exam, worked on audits of both public and private companies. I understand finances. The board presently, in their about 18 months, they've been very easy to make financial decisions because they've got $17 million in ARPA money. And the law millage at 1.45 mils is about 40% of the countywide millage rate. So they have lots of money. They don't have to worry about making economic financial decisions. But for those of us who've been around for a while, we understand there's ups and downs. I mean, I was magistrate and court administrator during the dot-com bust in 2001, and also the subprime mortgage fiasco in 2009, when tax revenues went down. And we had to find places, and I found places in district court to save money. And I can do that again if I'm elected. That I'm the one who has the financial background to make decisions with regard to county budgets. And I would ask for your support in the August 6th primary, and thank you for letting me speak tonight.
Anybody else in the public? Fire department business.
Good evening. So activity report for the month of May 2024, we had 32 calls for the month. So we had a pretty busy month. We had 10 fires, 19 medicals, 3 PIs, 1 meeting, 2 trainings, 1 work detail. We did have 2 structure fires in the township in May. One of them being a shed, small barn type of thing, and the other one being a house fire on Linda Lane. And the only other thing that I have for tonight is asking permission to spend $2,025 on a gas meter, which is a 4 gas meter. We've been running a lot of gas bills lately. Normally we get them in the fall, people are firing up for furnaces and things like that. But we've been getting more running for 4 or 5 a month. I think last month we had 2 or 3. So this gas meter would be we detect O2 or low O2. It would detect lower explosion limit for different types of environments. CO2, carbon monoxide, which we run quite a bit of, and it will detect hydrogen and sulfur. These are one of them tools that we've never had before, pieces of equipment we've never had before, and it's time to get one. We had a small carbon monoxide detector that we use, but it's just time to buy the gas meter that we need. So, again, I'd like permission to spend $2,025 on the gas meter.
I'll make a motion to, fire department to purchase a $2,025 for the gas meter.
Is that just Betsy?
It's one meter,
Just one
one
meter.
detects 4 gas.
Yeah.
And it's actually the same meter that Consumers Energy uses.
Mm.
So that's why I wanted that meter. They're a good enough for Consumers Energy.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks. Police Department.
Good evening. For June 2024, the Metamora Township Police Department had 284 calls for service, 160 of those being traffic stops, 9 traffic offenses or traffic VOLs, 6 property damage accidents, 6 car versus deer property damage accidents, 2 PI accidents, 2 criminal sexual conduct complaints. Both of those involve minors, so we can't really elaborate on those. One's already been forwarded to the Lapeer County Prosecutor's Office, and one's awaiting the CAC interview. Had that buttoned up hopefully this week. We also had 9 welfare checks and 1 larceny complaint. The larceny complaint actually involved a ring doorbell camera was stolen. So people were out of town on Sandy Shore, and they weren't on our property check watch. Not that we necessarily would have noticed that, but they came home and their ring camera was gone. As far as training goes for the month of June, we had a ton of training. We went to the rapid response to active shooter training. It's an 8-hour course. It was instructed by the Lapeer County Sheriff's Office and the Lapeer City Police Department. I want to thank them for hosting and putting on a great training. Myself, Officer Sutter, Officer Best, Officer Kehoe, Officer McCary, and Officer Kaczynski all attended that training. And we also had active violence instructor training, so they can be instructors for that type of training. Officer Plowman and Officer Irish went to that. It was 24 hours at Macomb County Community College. And also, we had social media investigations. It was a law enforcement risk management group training. It was a 3-hour webinar. Officer Sutter, Kehoe, Stimson, Plowman, Kaczynski, and Best. Also, Gary Dale attended and completed those trainings. As far as requests, I have 3 tonight. Our current bulletproof vests are at their expiration. They expire every 5 years. I'm requesting to purchase 11 Armor Express Razor Generation 2 Level 2 bulletproof vests with shock level 3A trauma plates, plate for the front, and also 11 of the external carriers from On Duty Gear, LLC in Clinton Township, for the cost of $11,140. Half of that cost will be covered by the Patrick Lee Bulletproof Vest Partnership through the Bureau of Justice. The remaining costs will be funded by the Department's drug forfeiture account.
I'll make a motion to allow the police chief to order the 11 bulletproof.
Yep, 11 bulletproof vests.
For a cost of the $11,140, which half of it will be reimbursed.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
appropriated funds to support annual in-service training standards for all licensed law enforcement officers. We're all licensed now, not certified. They changed it because it sounds more professional apparently. In June of 2024, MPulse initiated a pilot program pertaining to continuing professional education. In 2024, each agency in the state received $500 per full-time equivalent officer. We have this equivalent of 6 full-time officers, so we received $3,000. Each agency has until December 31st, 2024 to have each officer complete 12 hours of designated training. It'll be 24 hours in 2025, and it'll be 24 hours in 2026. I'm requesting permission to purchase Police One Academy through Lexipol in the amount of $1,410.75. That'll be access for all sworn officers and the reserves. It'll allow each officer to complete designated training on the Police One Academy training. It's 24/7 access to online learning, allowing officers to train when it's convenient. There's hundreds of full-length courses and thousands of videos built for microlearning. The reports allow you to monitor and track training completion, compliance, and license renewal. There's 313 MPulse approved courses on the site. They make 30 to 40 new courses per year, and it reports the information directly to MPulse through the Michigan Information and Tracking Network twice a month. So it'll keep track of everybody's training and allow everybody to get it completed. So again,
That's for one officer?
nope, that's for the entire department. That's,
Entire.
yep,
Oh,
for the entire department.
And that was $1,410?
$1,410.75.
I'll make a motion to allow police chief to sign up for that, so that everybody can have that online training.
Well, that's correct.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion carried.
All right, my last one, sorry I'm a little long-winded tonight. Public Act 552 became effective in 2019. This requires all licensed law enforcement officers to have a minimum of 8 hours of active violence training. A lot of us just completed it, we still have more that need to do it. Currently, it's a one-time deal, however, MPulse is looking to change it where it's going to be yearly. These trainings in active violence have to occur. Part of the training requires force-on-force training, which is with non-lethal ammunition guns. I'm requesting to purchase 3 Glock 17 blue trained ammunition pistols, 3 ammunition masks, and 500 rounds of ammunition rounds from Keysler Supply in the amount of $2,400, $2,413. The ammunition rounds are non-lethal force-on-force training rounds. Cartridges are non-lethal. They have marking projectiles, and not impact the projectiles or form and provide excellent marking for live training. I want to buy 3, and Dryden Township's going to buy 3 as well, so we'll have 6 to continue this training.
I'll make a motion to allow police chief to purchase the 3 Glock and the non-lethal ammunition or whatever, stimulation, for $24.13.
I have the quote you gave us is $24.65.
I got a better quote from Keysler than I did.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Okay, so there's 2 quotes, but you're going with.
I'm going with Keysler, it's
$24.13.
$52 cheaper, so.
Okay.
It's the exact same.
I'll second it, Sue.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. it was on
RX
20,
City?
we were not, it was 24, just north of Hunter's Creek Road, so,
Yeah.
obviously aware of it, but we weren't out there.
Oh, you weren't, oh, okay. So do you know if that was a fatality?
I know it was not,
It was
minor
not.
injuries, but he was drunk.
He was drunk?
yeah.
Okay. This Darren was the one that called 911. He's on his way to work. Yeah.
All right, township business.
Can I talk to it, Dave?
Yep.
Okay. So I noticed the parking lot is in need of some maintenance and repair work, given the fact that we have primary coming up here in August as well as a general election in November. I thought it'd be a good idea to hire someone to properly seal the parking lot as well as fill in some of the larger holes, especially in the entrance area. You can see they have gravel there, so I was a good idea. I did reach out, I had a guy come work on my driveway just recently, I think Dave, you know him as well, that's working locally. Got a quote for him to do the entire parking lot. It's 7634, no change, covers the whole parking lot. And it's applying a seal code, as well as some fill in holes, repair the driveway as well, or the parking lot, sorry.
I think he's gonna restripe it too, right?
I'll double check that before we approve it, but it just stays right to existing layout. Does it in the yard here? So I'll confirm it just to make sure, but it does say that.
That was your motion?
That was my motion, and clarification of the request.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right. Motion carried.
Next one is regarding the carbonite cloud backup system. We have a, this is called subscription or whatever. It's a 3-year contract, and it's coming due here in July. You guys know, our IT person reached out to me, and they're looking for an alternate backup to this, but unfortunately, they ran out of time, and so we're going to go ahead and give them approval, right now making a motion to approve the purchase of the existing carbonate cloud backup. It's a 3-year contract of $2,268, and if they do find a less expensive option, with this approval, I'm planning on going with the alternate option if it meets all the requirements. The concerns I always have with cloud backup systems are, where are they located? Right, if it's domestically U.S., I'm fine, but if it's overseas, I'm less fine. So I've asked them to make sure that's the case. So that's my motion.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? All right. Carried. Anybody got anything?
A little bit on the history of the hospital. McLaren has come at us 3 times in the time that I've been associated with this. This is not the first time, this is the 3rd time. And there's always been somebody who's connected to the hospital that's trying to do it. And they would receive all our equipment, our building. They just love to do that, and that's what they do. They go into a community and they say they're going to do this and that. They did it to Elmont, and when it doesn't pay their way, they pull out. And then they come back with a ridiculous offer because then the people have to pay the full price. And that's their method of operation. And they make all their money on transfers. They do not do emergency work. I mean, they're not an emergency service. So we would lose that emergency service in this whole county if they get a hold of it. So this is the 3rd time around.
And if I can just throw out, Ann, Kevin Nisley has stated on these Facebook pages that they are prepared for their requests for proposals already. They're already preparing those because they're going to work hard to make sure this fits.
I haven't talked to Kevin, but I did talk to William Hamilton, and he let his personality get involved with his decision making, and that shouldn't be. You're supposed to do something for the community. What's best for this community? what's best for this county, not what, oh, you might get upset over somebody saying something. You can't let that get in your way of making the right decision for everybody. That's how I feel about it. So he doesn't